What is up, everyone? This will be my Talon jungle video, and we're going to go over how to play Talon jungle. For starters, jungle item, blue or red are fine. Pick whichever one you prefer. Runes, electrocute into inspiration seconds my go-to, or you can do the conqueror page with the free boots second. Builds, there are a few builds. You can go into more of bruiser build, or you can go into assassin build. You either rush Ghostblade or Hubris if you're going assassin into, opportunity or edge of night. If you want to go bruiser, you go eclipse into cleaver as your go-to build. This game, it looks like I'm going to be able to get a leash, so we're probably just going to start with RW here and then just start on the red buff. Generally, I solo Raptors, but if a person wants to leash you for whatever reason, maybe I need to get away from this lane ASAP. Here you can actually get the bleed passive if you time it correctly there. So here I'm going to let my auto go through, and here we're going to go Q level 2. An important thing about Talon jungle, if you've been watching my other videos, is his bleed passive is very important, so just make sure you understand how it works. When you listen carefully, it's one of the most important mechanics on him is understanding his bleed effect. And also his Q is either a dash or it's going to be an auto attack reset both ways, but you can either dash with it and use it for the range effects, or you can use the inner circle for the melee crit damage. So if you're able to get the melee crit damage, obviously it's just more damage, right? So you just have to decide how you want to use it. When I'm jungling early in the game, I always try to use the crit damage because it's just a bit more damage. Now, I don't really necessarily need, the more, extra Q range. Usually because I'm waiting for my W. You're always waiting for the W to pull a second, and then you can go and get the Q auto attack reset in to proc your bleed passive and just practice how you're going to be using it. A lot of times against champions, though, you might end up using, the dash to catch up to people, and that's very fine. That's going to be your mobility, right? You're going to Q dash to people, and your ulti is also your ability. So here, you need 3 stacks to proc your bleed, right? So how are we going to get the 3 stacks? Without ulti, it's always W hits, W pulls, that's 2 stacks, and your Q will always apply 1. So what you want to do is go like this, boom, 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 bleed. And when you're going for a gank, you always want to hit them with the W first if you can, unless you think they might flash, and then you're going to just Q onto them and then hit the W. And once you get the bleed passive, it's really nice. And you can always get another bleed effect right when the effect wears off. So it's actually quite nice in that regard. So here I see this guy actually just warded here. Honestly, when I play Talon early game, unless I'm going to Ignite, I'm playing really aggressive. I usually just play for, just farming. And this game, I picked him really early, so the enemy team is very much all counter picks against Talon, so that can always be a problem. Here, I'm going to just try to kill this fast. And I actually can go on him here. But we don't really have much damage. What I'm going to do is actually hit this and clear the board. And see if I want to entertain maybe... So here this guy's coming. It's actually fine because you could just E over like this, right? Always E over the walls to get your mobility going. I'm going to base here. Let's just say the early game. Super slow. It's going to be like that sometimes. And now you have to decide on what you want to buy. I love Dirk, but I just don't have a Dirk in me. So I do like going into the movement speed effect of this item. You can always E over, these sort of shampoo walls when you're going around the base. And your E mechanic's really important. It feels really weird at first, but you'll get used to it. You can E over a lot of walls, and as you're jungling, when you're coming back from base, you're going to be using it to get a quick cycle here. You always want to edge. The way it works is, if you play Rek'Sai, you can kind of understand how walls and interactions work. But pretty much you always end on the other side of where you're going. But if it's too thick, you might not be able to go over. So you always kind of use it as if I'm Eing from here, I'm going to end up here kind of thing, right? So just kind of go with that information. And here, if I want to maneuver, I just easily jump over. And you're going to be using it a lot when you're, farming and also when you're jungling. It has a long cooldown early game, so you're not going to be able to, jump over it. When it's red, it pretty much means you can't go it. When it's yellow, it means it's going to be able to jump over again in a little bit of time. But also, really important information to know is sometimes it says red here, but this part isn't red, so you can actually just jump over from there as well. In this game, listen, sometimes you gotta be thankful for a slow game because the enemy team is beefy. I got Tahm Kench, Nunu everywhere, Dr. Mundo. This game may be a cleaver game, but I actually don't really think I need to because, well, it may be a game where we're going to go for some one-shots on specific people. So here I really need information. So what I'm gonna do is actually E over this wall. I just want to see some information on whether he's on Krugs or not. This could be a play here. So what we're going to do is start with RW. I have my bleed effect ready, so I'm just going to flash auto here. E over the wall. I was waiting for a flash, but he never flashed, so maybe it was down, so it's just a free kill for us. Here, this ward, this vision, very important. When you play Talon, you're pretty much aggressive playstyle. Your early game damage is really low. You really need to snowball. You need items, generally. Your bleed effect, till 6, you really don't have all that damage, I would say. Just be aware of that. Nunu exiting here, I'm pretty sure I can just dragon here. So what I'm paying is let my team know that I want dragon. Jump over the wall. Solo dragon is a bit careful. You gotta be a little careful with it, but here always Q, you know, get closer, W, and then you'll be able to proc your bleed passive. Why it's important to W first some cases is mostly because it lines up very nicely with your Q as the procer of your bleed effect, right? You have to auto attack to proc your bleed. And sometimes if you use your Q early, you're sitting there waiting like a second, 2 seconds, not being able to auto attack. So if you can plan, if you can somehow plan it correctly, it's gonna be really nice. This is usually. So here, obviously, when you're exiting, just to use like, you know, your shampoos. Cooldown's quite, you know, it does have a minor cooldown, so you're not going to be able to jump over every wall possible. Just want to jump over the ones that get you where you need to go. So here, I'm scared of Nunu invading me. So I'm going to check if he's here or not. Yellow means it was about to time out. So here, I'm just waiting for the pullback Q. Later on, I'm usually just dashing on them because your W, once you put some points into it, it actually speeds up your clear dramatically. But I'm okay with just farming right now. Like I said, you know, you have to be okay with it. Take whatever kills you can. Unless you have Ignite, your early game damage isn't going to be that high. The Flash gives you a lot of utility. Gives you potential to, you know, like really flash kill people too. So here I'm going to do my cycle again, and I'm just going to look for ulti plays on squishy targets. Obviously, Kog'Maw is a inter, but Tahm Kench is sort of a tank god right now. He's 3-0, so I have to worry about Tahm Kench. But I do want to farm as much money as I can from the Kog. You know, pick out the inter and just camp them. Kill the squishy. You are going to kill squishy. I could kill Vex too. The only people I can burst down is maybe a Nunu with Thresh Hook and Vex and Kog'Maw. Everyone else is going to be a tricky one. And this is cases where you could just go into a bruiser build. You know, you could go into... I should have probably went Conqueror into like more of a bruiser build. But I just want to show you guys the generic build. I still think it can work no matter what. Mostly because my team has a lot of AP anyways with TF and Gwen. So they're not going to stack armor against my lethality. So I'm not going to have a problem where... Okay, the enemy team is stacking armor. I think they're not going to go as much armor. They shouldn't because we have a lot of AP, right? So that's my thought process. So here I want to make sure... I make sure... Sorry, my throat's a bit acting up. I want to make sure my Jhin doesn't die here to like a Nunu play. So I'm just being careful. Cautious as you would. I can't really go on Cog. That's a problem, right? I need people. I need to make sure Thresh is here. Thresh would be the person to start it all. We need to go on Nunu if anything. I'm Eing just to buy time, but I think we could fight if he walks up here. Auto once more. You saw there, what did I do? I hit that W. Why that play was good, because that W saw it pushed and pull and put two people on 2 stacks. And when you're on 2 stacks, that's where you want your opponent. If they're on 2 stacks, you go in. Your Q will proc 1. I ultied. I had 3 stacks. I had another stack, Nunu now, and I autoed him and it bleed affected him as well. So I got maximum damage off that play. Good. Very good. That's how you want to see it. Kite back, buy times, hit that W, let for the pullback hit. And when they're on 2 stacks, you can kill them. It's definitely where you want them. Here you can just start to kind of like dash in more. Just speed up your clear a bit. I have Ghostblade. This person wants to all in, but I guess we are all in. So here I'm just going to jump over, hit the W, wait for the same thing I talked about. The bleed effect. Very simple kill. You eat this way. Sometimes you can fall over if you don't time your W. Be careful about that. So you're always going to max W first, and then you're going to max Q second. And here when I'm playing Talon jungle, it's really about, you know, just your farming. You're sort of like you're not an engager. You're not going to start fights. You're sort of like the the finisher, the collapser, the flanker. You want to be there when the fight's happening. You want to surprise people, show up over the wall, and people are going to be very surprised. This is awkward, but I want to one-shot this one. Nunu we can kill. So what I'm going to do is actually... Oh, that didn't kill. I'm going to E over here. Playing the wall angle here with my boy TF. I actually think we could one-shot Vex if she shows up. So what we're going to do is hit this to see if she walks this way. Just walking very safe path. And like your mobility is everything. If you don't have a wall to jump over, you pretty much messed up on Talon. You can actually chase people a lot with the wall, right? So with the Ghostblade buff, it's just a really solid first item. And Edge of Night's going to be usually second or third. You need Edge of Night. This game, I could go into like the opportunity, but honestly, I wonder if Cleaver is just better for me. I might just end up going Cleaver here because I think it might be a bit tricky for me to survive against how tanky they are. We'll see though. I'll eye it out. But here I think maybe we can fight. Again, with our ulti up, our plays are very strong. I could just do Dragon here. I just don't know if Tahm Kench stacking. Remember, your Q applies a stack as well. So you're able to kind of Q here. I don't think Nunu's here yet, but he can come here. So here there's actually a fight, so we're going to E fast. Trying to burst this Tahm down. So I do not want to chase the Nunu. I mostly just don't think a Nunu kill. Vex ulti does when we're on... What's that thing called? Void Grubs. So I don't think Vex ulti should be up now. Nunu could snowball on me, so if you're feeling like, okay, someone could show up here, just hug the wall because you could just jump over and get out anytime. Your escape, literally your only escape is your E. Your ulti is also technically possible, but to be honest, your ulti is more of a bit of a finisher, I would say. So here there's a lot of iterations. Profane Hydra. You can go more squishy. Like I said, I don't think they're going to build armor. Like, if they don't stack armor, I'm okay with the situation. So I'm going to just go for opportunity. And this is your class. This would be the statistically highest win rate build. You just go this into Edge of Night, into Grudge fourth with like last item, you know, Death Stand Small, GA, that kind of stuff. And he's very, honestly, he's like mechanically, it sounds silly, but he is simple champion mechanically. He really doesn't have as much complications as you would think. My ulti's not up yet, so I'm a bit concerned about going in here. But I'm gonna go on the cog on this. New R is a bit of a problem. Oh, man. I needed to kill there. I should have splashed them right away. Should just killed him. He's really not worth it, but should just got out actually. Yeah, I mean Tahm Kench ulti, right? Like that's why I said like there are a lot of counters in this game. I can't. He has ulti up, he's a problem. But that play, what they did right there was actually bad for them. So we're happy that they're disgusting. And they made a bad play because our bot lane got to kill Vex for free. And now they're in a good position. There I thought I could be cheeky and just kill the cog real quick. I thought if I killed the cog, I might be able to find another wall to jump over. You're all about that like parkour stuff, right? You're literally a parkour champion. And the Q feels real funky, right? You're gonna find a lot of weird. It's gonna feel a bit weird at first. You have to get used to it. Just be aware that, like, you know, the Q cooldown goes down a lot, so you're gonna be fine later on. A lot of times you're waiting for your abilities to come back up. Surprisingly, Talon, you think, okay, he's just always gonna one-shot people. If you miss something, if you mess up somewhere, you may actually not have enough damage to kill. So here I think Cog is just a free kill, right? So I'm just going him. Start with W and then just go on him after. I know his passive is going to try to chunk me, so I just W fade away. And what's important there is we know he has no flash, right? Remember, he just flashed to save himself earlier, so that's just a free kill. I don't even use ulti, right? A lot of times you need to get the W slow, right? So you always want to kind of get them with that slow effect. But if you can just ghost plate, a lot of times you're going to ghost plate and just jump on them right away. You may not even need your W. I'm just going to base now because I have opportunity. And for boots, honestly, I'm not sure. This game I might need Mercrez, but Swifties doesn't sound too bad. I might just go Swifty this game. I usually don't invest much into boots. I just buy whatever like I can find. Ability haste boots sometimes too can be good. Well, we lost a lot of them. Damn, this guy's a bit of a problem, guys. I think I need help here. I'm gonna smite this so they don't get this tower. I need a bit of assistance if we can. I have bleed effect going. I should kill him. Watch out for Vex R here. I have ulti coming up. If I jump in, I might die, but let it happen. Just getting the slow is good. Always play fights real slow, by the way. Like this. You see how I'm always maneuvering. Without R, I'm not killing them, by the way. But I think they might mess up a spot, and I might snipe them here. Ah, that last auto hits me. They ended up dying after that anyways. That's good. Should have eaten right away over the wall. And here usually I go into the Edge of Night, and your build will be, you know, Edge of Night, Grudge. And the last item is flexible. Maw, Death Stance, GA. Literally anything can be your last item. That's your standard build. There are iterations to it, like I said. But this, if you just want the default, I want to kill people, I want to assassinate as much as possible, I want to do as much damage as easy as possible, this will be your build. This is what you're going to be doing. And like I said, some people like to go Ignite and just really helps you in some matchups. But personally, I think if you're starting Talon, just go Flash initially. You'll get better at it. Here, you use like your curve as well. Lead effects going. Just keep waiting for a bit. His R is done now, so he's dead. I'm just juke as much as possible here. Don't know if I can win a fight right now. I'm very low, so I'm just gonna really heal up fast. My ulti's 20, so I can maybe fight after 20. There, like, the flash helped me, as you saw, but not gonna help you all the time. I'm gonna follow which path he takes. I'm on the hunt. I want to get this Nunu, but he heals fast when he does ulti. Can I burst him one shot? It's on my red now. Shit. Do we do this? Lads, do we go on this? I need R. We're going. It's on my curves. He was much healthier than I thought he would be. If my ulti connected and I got my bleed effect going, there could have been a kill there, but he was much healthier than I thought. Again, didn't really need to do that. Wanted to do it, if anything. Sometimes blue orb is nice on Talon too, personally, I think. I'd rather go blue than red, just because my ward clearing is super slow. And you're always about finding angles, flanks on people, using your wall parkour to dash and reach people, but unfortunately I couldn't. When I don't have vision in areas, it's always scary when you E over, especially with ulti. Personally, I think we can kill here, so as you put more points in your E, your wall jumps actually goes down a lot. I don't think we can actually stop here. Oh, she stole it. I don't have my bleed, so I have to wait for my W. There is a problem where you see I didn't get my abilities to stack up properly. And I didn't get the bleed effect. You see how much damage your bleed does? That's why Tom was able to live, but I really was just trying to reach him. He flashed initially, and then my ulti wasn't really able to connect with him. Your ulti applies 2 stacks only if your R, the first part of it, actually connects, right? So how do I explain? So your R creates this ring around you, makes you invisible. If this first part hits and you pull it back or you right click someone, it will apply the 2 stacks. So you need this initial part to hit. And that's when it makes it real easy, right? So here, this actually, you can jump over a wall like that. Your bleed as it scales does insane damage to jungle camp. So always, you know, sometimes you're going to be able to proc your bleed and just kind of move on. So don't be worried about that. I need someone to help me kill this guy. Mundo tank is annoying to deal with. Guys, we have a Mundo on our tower. Can we do something here? Just bind him, making him entertained. What the hell was that damage, by the way? Something blew up on me. Yoink. Haha, Vex, you silly goose. I hope they went on that. Oh, they're actually so, like, crazy for me. This guy's sending a goddamn missile at me. They're so crazy for me. I need to get away from Tom. You know I can kill here, though. I'm gonna wait for him to pop off. No, my R. It's not up there. I think they lose this fight, though. Yeah, they're real beefy, guys. I mean, I'm trying to do as much as I can, but this is obviously a super beef comp. You're not designed to kill these beefy boys. You would, if I wanted to kill Nunu, Conqueror, if I was playing against a comp like this, and generally I would want to go for Conqueror, Page with 3 boots, with a Eclipse into Cleaver kind of build, or Ghostblade into Cleaver into like a Bruiser build. I would advise you on that, but here, because I'm just kind of showing you guys the more standard build, you usually want to just go into this one. Big problem is the Tahm Kench is really an issue, because even if I go lethality, I want to assassinate the primary target, which is the carry. I have to run into the issue that you can eat that person, and that's annoying. But here with Edge of Night, I'm very strong now. And we have to keep killing split pushes. Big Wader, you're going to win a lot of your games. Is actually, you're going to win a lot of your games, surprisingly, by just capitalizing on killing these sort of side lane monkeys. A lot of people go in the side lane and they just don't do anything. Like, they don't know anything. You just have to keep, whenever you see a split pusher doing this, just stop him ASAP, because if you forget about it, that's where it becomes a problem. I see lower rank people ignore like Mundos or like Yoriks on the side lane. And if you have the group, if you have the ball lane push, like we have ball lane push mid, our ball lane's winning, always try to get your ball lane to rotate with you to just deal with this side lane. I promise you, you're going to win so much more games. So many more games. And it's not even a question. It's a goddamn command. That's what it is. I don't really want to E over a wall because this might be my escape wall. So I just want to keep escape wall options open. See, my W does a lot of damage. My goal is to just get on Vex here, so I'm gonna R. Oh, what the hell? I need to get that auto off. I literally got feared, CC'd, Tom ulti, alright, whatever. Discussing champions on the enemy team, but overall, the things are still there. You can go Serpent's Fang if you deal with a lot of shield. I forgot to talk about this item. But generally, I'd probably go into a Grudge here. So I'd want to get my armor pen because they obviously stacking it quite heavily. But if they end up ending the game, hope you guys like that video. It's Talon Jungle. You can go Ignite if you want to play more of an aggressive early game playstyle. But good luck in the game. Good luck on the climb. Be sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.